Chapters 9. Heat. Julie POV. Nearly a month had passed since I had arrived at the Blue Moon Pack. I had not left the room yet, but every time I looked in the mirror, I thought it was for the best. I was still recovering and did not want any of the pack members to think I was not fit to be their Luna. I had never seen my mate. I could smell his fresh scent on the bed sheets every morning, but when I woke up, he was never there. The doctor visits regularly, and Beta Terry is still coming 3 times a day. We became friends, and he spoke to me about the pack and his time with my mate when they were pups and away on Alpha and Beta camp. My health was slowly improving, and I was doing everything to improve it. I ate all the meals and took the vitamins Dr. Paul gave me. The bath helps the sleep. I had never had nightmares since I got here, and I was glad not to wake up screaming, afraid of Uncle Michael. The only missing piece was my mate. We were made to be together and should not be separated for that long. I remember when my mother felt the detachment effects when my dad was away for a long time. She was constantly tired and sick, and I was feeling tired. But I was not getting worse because I could smell his fresh scent every day. Somehow it was comforting. Aphrodite says Aries reaches out to her during the day, projects beautiful images and talks to her. But that would not be possible for me. The mind link would only work between Max and me after he had marked me with a Luna ceremony. Before Uncle Michael made me an Omega, I had 2 years of training from my parents. I knew it would not be enough for my Luna duties. I was only a pup, and I asked Beta Terry to bring me a few books to help me in my new role. I was learning as much as possible, even when I was too tired. I needed to be qualified for my pack and a good mate. They needed me. Max POV. I was heading back to my office after training. My warriors were impressed by how my skills had been improving daily. I was faster than before. My senses were higher, and on top of that, Aries hunts every morning for his mate's meal, and we only catch big prey each time with an easy kill. I arrived at my office feeling good and found Terry waiting for me with his daily reports about the little wolf. And guess what? I never asked for those reports. I spoke to Dr. Paul today, Max, and he said Julie is not improving as fast as she should. He ran tests on her wolf, and she is much improved. But her human is not, Max. Aries has accepted her. Takes care of her, but you don't. I huffed in annoyance. Terry, why aren't you eager that much every day to give me the balance sheets I asked you for 2 days ago? I never asked for any updates on the girl, yet you have even provided me with a background check and daily reports. Terry looked at me with an angry face. Do you know all these self-improvements of yours in a month will go away once she dies? You are becoming stronger each day, and she is weaker, Max. You are feeding on her strength and not giving anything in return. I groaned. Why does he have to kill my good mood every morning? Terry, how often do I must tell you she is not improving as a normal wolf because she is weak? She is an Omega. He pointed outside. Have you forgotten tonight is a full moon? We know what will happen to her tonight because you haven't accepted her. Are you prepared for that? God, I was not sure if I could control myself and, worse, Aries. The little wolf will go on heat tonight. Can't you go to Sarah the witch to find a potion to help? Terry gave a stern look, offended. Already did. She can't help with that. Normal heat, yes, but it is the mate's calling. You haven't marked and mated her yet, and we're supposed to before the full moon. It is going to hurt her, Max. I can't believe you will let this happen to your other half. I shook my head. I can't mark her, Terry. As much as I feel the pull from the mate bond, I just can't. Terry gave me a pleading look. If you could get to know her, Max. She is sweet and kind. It would help if you gave her a chance. Even tired, she is training to become a Luna. I banged my fist on the table. How is that my fault, Terry? You are the one feeding her those things. Making her believe she would be my Luna. I didn't ask you to do that. I asked you to bring her food and that is it. He narrowed his eyes. She asked for the books, Max. You never told her or Aries that she wouldn't be a Luna of the Blue Moon Pack. And what did you expect me to do? To deliver a food tray under the door 3 times a day like in the pack cells and not speak to her? My lips were in a hard line showing how displeased I was with him. That was precisely what I asked for, Terry. Enough with that. I already have Aries on my mind. I don't need you up there too. Now is everything ready for the visitors on Saturday? Please check everything with Carl. As you can see, if I had a suitable Luna, she would be in charge of that with Carl. As I don't have one, you need to help me. Of course, he could not drop the subject and work as my beta. Now his main task was defending the Luna he would never have. Are you sure about this meeting, Max? From the list you gave me, Tanya is coming too. And I don't think it is good for Julie their presence here while things are not decided yet. After he said Tanya, a groan came from his wolf Noah. What now? Is Noah joining you and Aries on the revolution too? It would be best if you stopped with that now, Terry. I'm telling you I won't allow any disrespect from Noah when Tanya becomes a Luna. Noah took control and growled at me. Oh God. My beta is already feeling the need to protect the little wolf. I roared to put him back in line, and he gave back control to Terry. With my alpha command, I said. Things are already decided, Terry. I'm just waiting for her health to improve. Now, leave. Breathing heavily, he left the room without a word. It was nightfall when Terry came running, barging into my office, and I knew the dreadful day had arrived. She is in heat. Max. Aries howled, and I blocked him. I did not know if that would hold him the whole night. But she would suffer more if I did not help her. I had to keep myself together, and Aries and I on the loose would be impossible. We would mark and mate her tonight without a doubt. We ran upstairs, and I did not even have to open the door to smell her alluring scent calling me. I could sense it since the guest wing on the 5th floor. When Terry opened the door, she was on the bed, curled, crying, pressing her stomach. Her face was red, and she was already burning up. Turn on the bath with cold water, Terry. Terry did as he was told, but his eyes were dark green. Noah was already out when I carried her to the bathroom. He was lusting for her, and I could not blame him. Her scent and heat was too sweet. I commanded him to leave and dropped her fully clothed into the cold bath. I held her by the neck, and she had cold water till it. Her wolf whimpered, calling for Aries. And it was hard to keep him away from his mate's call. She opened her eyes and looked at me. That was the first time I saw it open since she got here. Julie had beautiful gray eyes. I got lost in them, and she moved closer, kissing me. It was sloppy and hungry, but her lips were soft. I knew it was her first kiss. And I did not want it to happen this way. I petted her long dark blonde hair to comfort her, making her slow down. She stopped and let her head fall back. Her eyes were closed, and her lips were slightly parted. I held her by the neck, my thumb caressing the soft skin near her ear. My other hand moved to her back for support. The last thing I wanted was for her to get hurt. Her heat had only started, and it would last till sunrise. I studied her face. It was still skinny, but none doubt she was a beautiful she-wolf. Staring at her, I did not resist. I leaned down and kissed her again. It started slowly, but the little one started to get aggressive, trying to rip my shirt off. I stopped the kiss and held her hands. I could never give her what she needed. Julie cried out. Please. Please make it stop, it's hurting. I am burning inside. I knew it would only stop if I marked and mated her. The temperature of the water had got hot from her heat. I unplugged the bath and started another one with cold water. She was crying and whimpering so much in pain. Julie started rubbing between her legs with much force, trying to find her release. I quickly got into the bath behind her, grabbed her hands, and pulled her closer, resting her back on my chest. Please. I need you. Make it stop. I need you. I need you. She repeated it several times. And it was messing with my head. Her scent and the proximity were not helping. The way she was needy, wanting me, calling me was just too hard to keep my ground. I changed the water one more time and had to leave her hands. Julie went straight to rub between her legs again. She was hurting a lot there, and the water was getting hotter faster each time. Her body temperature was too high now, and I knew something could go wrong for her. I pulled her back to my chest, locking her arms in place, and ripped her panties. I knew I was playing with fire and did not know if I was strong enough to hold. But if she died from the heat, I would not be able to forgive myself. I moved my legs to the space inside hers and spread her knees, locking them in place. I lifted her nightshirt a little, just enough for my hand to access a place that could never belong to me. I was sure I would not be able to hold it if I looked at it. I squeezed her pussy and rubbed my thumb on her clit. The greedy little pearl was already engorged and exposed, ready to be taken by my mouth. It was burning like a fire. I kissed her neck. Julie whimpered and moved her head, giving me more access, begging to be marked there and put off misery. I kept playing with her clit, but I did not penetrate her with my fingers. She was not mine. She could never be mine. As much as the mate bond was pulling me towards her, I did not want it. I moved my thumb faster to make her come. It would soothe the pain for a while. She howled and tried to make my hand go quicker. But I did not allow her. She needed to learn I was the alpha. I kissed her ear. Shh, little one. It will be okay. Now let it go and come for your mate. Julie's skin glowed, looking magnificent. She moaned beautifully from pleasure. Her breathing slowed down after, and I looked outside. It was dawn. The sun would be out soon, and her pain was over for now.